Okay, so half angle identities. We're still working on those. This is the second video for the day. We're almost done with the packet. Half angle identities for tangent, there's actually two of them. And here they are. And we're going to verify this one. Okay. So verifying this identity is basically a little tricky. What I'm first going to do is, again, look at from here to here and say, hey, this side looks more complicated than that side. So when you begin, it's best to start with the side that's more complicated, not less. So even though this is on the right, that's what I'm going to start with. Now secant, the only basic identity for secant that can be exchanged is this one. It's a reciprocal identity. There's nothing else on this page that would make sense to use. I mean, this one wouldn't make sense because that gives you secant again. So secant, I'm simply going to rewrite it as 1 over cosine in every instance. Cosecant, again, I'm going to use the reciprocal identity and write that as 1 over sine. Now that makes sense because obviously I'm going for a tangent in the end here, so if I can have sines and cosines, that's how you construct a tangent. So changing everything to sine and cosine makes sense. Secant is 1 over cosine. Again, secant is 1 over cosine. Cosecant is 1 over sine. Cosecant is 1 over sine. Okay, so I've got 1 over cosine on the top, alpha, and on the bottom I have two fractions. If I multiply this together, I have 1 over cosine alpha sine alpha. Oops, sorry. Cosine alpha sine alpha multiplied together plus 1 over sine alpha. Now if I want to add these two together, obviously this one's missing a cosine, so I'm going to multiply this one by cosine alpha over cosine alpha, like so, which gives me 1 over cosine alpha on the top. And then if I add these two together, I have 1 plus cosine alpha on the top if I add the tops together, because this is just cosine alpha. And on the bottom, I have cosine alpha sine alpha. So now I have two whole fractions within a whole fraction, which allows me to write it as the numerator multiplied by the reciprocal of the denominator. And then this cosine could cancel with that cosine, which gives me sine of alpha over 1 plus cosine of alpha. Now, that is actually a tangent half angle identity. If you look at your page right here, this is the 5.3 formulas page. It's right here. Tangent of a half angle equals sine over 1 plus cosine. That is this. So we simply say that that equals the tangent of theta over 2. In this case, it's the tangent of alpha over 2. And that's it. We've verified the identity.